So good morning po Ma'am Cook Makabulos and good morning din classmates. I am Angeline Banaag and today I will be discussing the forms and the uses of nutritional diagnosis. So first is the nutrition diagnosis. Gaya nga ng nireport na ng previous reporters, the nutrition diagnosis is the second step of our NCP or nutrition care processes. Also, it is the most crucial part of all those processes. Why? Kasi in this step, dito mo may identify or may label yung mga actual occurrence, risk factors, and yung possible cause para ma-identify at na-label na rin yung isang specific nutritional problems. Which is, it is treated independently by a dietetics practitioner. So they should be careful kasi dito din nakasalalay yung nutritional intervention yung gagawin. At once na magkamali sila, of course, mas magkakos pa ito ng severe problems. So by the way, it is treated independently because it is important to emphasize that the nutrition diagnosis is different to the medical diagnosis. So nutritional diagnosis is ideally resolved by a nutritional intervention. Pero ang medical diagnosis naman is refers to the disease or pathological of organs or body system. For example, if yung assessment data reported that the client has a high blood pressure and he ate a lot of processed food and salt, then ang magiging medical diagnosis dun is hypertension for the high blood pressure. While yung nutritional diagnosis naman is yung excessive sodium intake for eating a lot of food, processed food, and salt. So next is we have there the uses of nutrition diagnosis. As we have said before, nutrition diagnosis is where the dietetics practitioners identify and label a specific or an existing nutritional problems that the practitioner is responsible for treating. Nutrition diagnosis also implies kasi para magkaroon ng predefined list ng mga potential condition at para rin magkaroon o makompare yung sign and symptoms ng isang client para ma-confirm din kung yun yung nutritional problems ng isang client. So next is we have there the three domains of nutrition diagnosis: the intake, the clinical, and the behavioral environmental. So these three domains are refers to the nutritional problems or the findings. So in PES statement, ito yung problem. So first is yung intake. The domain intake is the defining as an actual problems. It is related to the intake of energy, nutrients, fluids, bioactive substances through oral diet or nutritional support, either enteral or parental nutrition. So alam naman natin mga kung ano yung enteral or parental nutrition. It refers to the actual problems because ito yung mga problem na usually caused by what we actually eat or what energy, nutrients, foods, or body substances na we input in our body by eating foods. And it has a subclasses. Una, yung calorie-energy balance, which is defined as an actual or estimated changes in energy. Usually, example nga is yung hypermetabolism. So, hypermetabolism, ito yung kahit nakain na ng kain ng payat, is fit pa din sila kasi meron silang mabilis na metabolism. Next is yung excessive energy intake. Ito naman yung sobrang pagkain or pag-consumption ng sugar and lipids like fats and oils. So sila naman usually yung mga taong obese. Next is we have the oral or nutritional intake. It is defined as an actual or estimated food and beverage intake from oral diet or nutritional support compared with the patient goal. Example na ito is yung inadequate or excessive oral intake, like yung example kanina, sobra yung pagkain ng processed foods or mga fast food. So, pwedeng mag-cause yun ng mga nutritional problems. And, ito rin yung another example is inadequate or excessive intake from enteral or parenteral nutrition infusion. So, usually, ito yung mga complications about human feeding. Next is the fluid intake. So, the fluid intake is refers to the actual or estimated fluid intake compared with the patient goal, such as inadequate or excessive fluid intake. So, kapag inadequate, is our body can't have or don't have enough water or fluid which can cause dehydration. Kapag naman excessive, meron din tinatawag na fluid overload. Ito yung excessive building up of fluid in our body which can lead into edema. Bioactive substance balance. So refers as an actual or observed intake of bioactive substances, including yung single or multiple functional components, ingredients, dietary supplements, and alcohol, such as yung inadequate or excessive bioactive substances intake dahil nga sa low intake or hindi pagkain ng mga gulay or fruits. Usually, ang bioactive substances is nakukuha natin sa gulay or prutas na kinakain natin. And yung excessive alcohol intake. So, according nga sa sinabi ni ma'am, dapat 10% lang yung mga alcohol intake sa isang araw. So, yung excessive alcohol intake is caused usually by alcohol addiction. And last is the nutrient balance. It refers to the actual or estimated intake of specific nutrient groups or single nutrient as compared with the desired levels. Example is yung inadequate or excessive nutrient needs. It is either because of inadequate or excessive intake natin of different nutrients such as fats and oils, proteins, carbohydrates, and fibers, vitamins such as vitamin A, C, D, E, K, and minerals such as calcium, potassium, iron, and zinc na nakukuha natin sa poor diet of nutritious food. Of course, kapag meron tayong insufficient intake ng vitamin A, C, D, E, K, pwede silang mag-cause ng vitamin deficiency na katulad ng mga na-discuss na nung last reporters. So, next naman is yung clinical domain. The clinical domain is defined as nutritional findings or problems that is identified that to medical or related to the medical or physical conditions. The first class there is the functional. Functional balance refers to the change in physical or mechanical functioning with the nutritional consequences. So, example niyan is yung swallowing difficulty or biting or chewing difficulty, usually caused by a neurological disorder or yung mga pwede din yung stroke. Next is yung breastfeeding difficulty. Usually naman, ito yung caused by breast engorgement, kung saan yung mga nanay is full yung milk na sa kanilang breast. So, they may feel hard, tight, and painful around dun sa breast area. So, hindi nila kayang padedeen na yung baby nila. Kaya yung baby is hindi makakakuha ng enough nutrition or breast milk sa kanilang nanay. And next is yung altered GI function such as constipation or LBM. Of course, yung constipation usually is caused by insufficient intake ng fiber. We also have the biochemical balance. So, it is defined naman as a change or capacity to metabolize nutrients as a result of medication, surgery, or as indicated by altered lab values. So, yun nga yung mga example na: impaired nutrients utilization, altered nutrition-related laboratory values, and food medication interactions. So, example na lang natin itong food medication interaction. So, example na lang natin dito yung medication or food medication interaction. Kasi, many medications can decrease nutrient absorption. Example na nga is yung laxatives, which it can decrease the absorption of many vitamins and minerals. It can also cause food to move rapidly through the body that is causing poor nutrient absorption. Then, we have also a weight balance. So, example niya is yung underweight, unintentional weight loss, which is usually caused by poor behavior like inadequate energy intake and poor diet. At pati yung overweight or obesity or unintentional weight gain, ito naman is because of unhealthy lifestyle and diet. So, yung weight balance refers a chronic weight or change weight status when compared with the usual or desired body weight. Kaya nga dapat in every change in our weight status is matagdagan man yan or mabawasan, dapat normal pa din yung ranges ng BMI because there are different possible consequences or nutritional problems that is related sa pag-change ng weight status natin. Yung ating behavioral environmental or NB. It is defined naman as a nutritional findings or problems identified that is related to the knowledge, attitudes, beliefs, or physical environments, or access to food and food safety. So it has also subclasses such as your knowledge and beliefs, physical activity, balance and function, food safety, and access. So in knowledge and beliefs, ito yung may mga hindi naniniwala or disbeliefs in a science-based food and nutrition at information. At ito rin yung mga pag-cure ng mga chronic illnesses gamit yung alternative therapy. At yung may mga undesirable food choices kasi lack of knowledge at information. And of course, kapag mayroon kang enough knowledge about the nutrition, of course, magiging mas cautious ka. And I know some of you, kahit na nag-start pa lang tayo sa nutrition, is nagkakaroon na tayo ng knowledge about this. Kaya minsan, kung napapaisip na rin ng iba sa inyo kapag kumakain na tayo ng processed foods, canton, corned beef, o yung mga mahilig kumain ng hotdog dyan. Kasi yung physical activity, balance and function. Exercise is very important, pero kailangan pa din balance. Kasi may ibang tao na kung hindi naman kinulang, sumobra. So, some of them they can find time to exercise to sasabayan pa ng unhealthy foods. So, as a result, magkakaroon talaga sila ng mga nutritional problems, such as yung physical inactivity, while yung iba naman is due to excessive exercising. So, kasi meron silang addictive behavior, which is yung pagkakaroon ng addiction in exercising. And last is we have the food safety and access, such as the intake of unsafe food dahil maaring yung lugar nila is exposed sa mga contaminated water or food dahil sa community outbreak of illnesses sa kanilang lugar. At dahil pwede rin sa unsafe food preparation, unsafe food storage equipment, and unsafe food facilities. At pwede rin yung limited access of food is dahil nga sa poverty. Some people do not have enough access to food and or safe food to meet what their body needs. And that's the sad reality of being poor. So to sum it up, the intake is the actual problems. It is either too much or too little of food or nutrients compared to actual or estimated needs. In clinical naman, it is the nutrition problems that is related to the medical or physical conditions. And last, yung behavioral environmental naman, it is the nutritional problems that is according or related to the knowledge, attitudes, beliefs, physical environments, and access to food or food safety. So yung mga different terminologies is ayan. Search nyo na lang yung link nasa screen if you want it. Thank you for listening.